All right, we are shifting our focus to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who is leaving for his tour to the UK. As I was just informing you, this is also going to witness the sealing of the trade deal, historic trade deal between India and UK. So those are the visuals of Prime Minister Narendra Modi embarking on two-nation tour to United Kingdom and then Maldives. Prime Minister Modi's visit to UK, of course, is to strengthen the ties between the two nations. FTA is also on the agenda. Let me go across to Shreya, my colleague, who's joining us on the broadcast with more details on the significance of this two-nation tour of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Yes, Shreya.
Absolutely, Swati. This is an extremely crucial visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to the United Kingdom. It's his fourth visit. It comes at a time when the entire world is grappling with Trump tariffs, and India and UK are all set to sign a historic FTA agreement, which is the free trade agreement. Extremely important as far as the two countries and their bilateral trade is concerned. Prime Minister Modi will be discussing the trade deal with UK's Prime Minister Keir Starmer. This, remember, marks a turning point in the India-UK trade relations, extremely significant as far as the two nations and their ties are concerned. It will give a big boost to our bilateral trade. Also, it will work upon the investment between the two nations as well as the defense cooperation between the two countries. As far as the historic FTA is concerned between India and UK, remember, FTAs between two nations are basically aimed to cut down on the tariffs and the taxes that they impose on each other's products. And India and UK are all set to gain significantly from this trade pact. It aims to double the trade to about $120 billion by 2030. And for India, this FTA will lower taxes on 99% of Indian goods to zero in the UK market. So that comes as a huge boost for our manufacturers and business community as far as trade is concerned. Import of alcohol will be taxed half. Tariffs on automotive imports will be from 100%, they will reduce to 10%, which is again a significant gain for India. As far as other goods are concerned, whether it's jewelry, gems, food materials, all of these are concerned between India and UK, that tariff will be lowered as well. So extremely significant visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Apart from the FTA, of course, energy security, defense cooperation, healthcare, these are all issues that will be discussed between Prime Minister Modi and Keir Starmer, the UK Prime Minister. He's also, scheduled to meet the King Charles II, and that is again going to be an extremely important meeting between the two countries and their leaders. So extremely significant, of course. After the UK, the Prime Minister will be visiting to the Maldives. That comes in later, but at the moment the priority is the historic trade pact that is set to be signed between India and United Kingdom. Extremely important. It's going to be a big boost for bilateral trade at a time.
Absolutely, an agreement that in fact was under negotiation for 3 years. Shreya, stay on with us. We also have Rishabh joining us on the broadcast. Rishabh, Shreya was talking about the significance of the FTA. Now the agreement is expected to eliminate tariffs on 99% of Indian exports to the UK and reduce tariff on 90% of British products. So this definitely is a historic trade deal which will be sealed during this visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Well, definitely. See, this is a very important visit. Remember, this FTA that we are talking about has been in negotiation for over 3 years. This FTA began, the negotiation on this FTA began during Boris Johnson's time. Since then, we have had three prime ministers of Conservative and one Prime Minister of Liberal party. And now, finally, under Keir Starmer, the Liberal Prime Minister of United Kingdom, this FTA is being signed. On 6th of May, both Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Prime Minister Starmer did announce that the negotiations have been concluded. Now that Prime Minister is leaving for United Kingdom, he is on a 2-day visit today and tomorrow. Tomorrow in Chequers, which is about 50 kilometers north of London, Prime Minister would be meeting his counterpart. He's also going to visit Buckingham Palace and call on the King of United Kingdom. But FTA is very, very important. Why is this important? A, this is one of the most significant FTAs that India is signing this year. This will lay ground for India's FTA with European Union as well as United States as well. Remember, when the EU cabinet was here earlier this year, it was announced by the EU President and Prime Minister Narendra Modi by the end of this year, we will conclude the FTA talks, EU-India FTA talks, and in all likelihood by the end of January we will be signing the India-EU FTA. Similarly, India-US bilateral trade agreement is expected to be signed by the end of this year, is what we are given to understand. So this very FTA will lay ground for that. Apart from that, why is this visit important? There are certain fugitives from India who are right now hiding in United Kingdom. Nirav Modi, Lalit Modi, Vijay Mallya, among others are there. India has been trying to bring them back. So when the bilateral talks happen, sources suggest that this will also come up.
There's a lot on agenda, but of course all eyes on the FTA. We also have Veena Sikri, former ambassador, joining us on the broadcast. Rishabh, please stay on with us. Your first reaction, ma'am, how are you looking at this? The two-nation tour of Prime Minister has begun, and in UK, of course, all eyes would be on the FTA.
Yes, I think it is a very important visit, very timely, and it is very significant that India and UK have been able to agree upon this FTA. As we know, it has some very significant features for both countries. It has a reduction in tariffs, substantial reduction for Britain on automobiles and on liquor and so on, and for India, a virtual duty-free access to the UK market for a large number of products. And there's also a bilateral investment treaty under negotiation, which will be agreed very soon. So I think that this conclusion of the India-UK FTA is a significant move forward, because now India is moving towards bilateral FTAs and not really so much interested in the multilateral FTAs, which have always have a lot of loopholes and do not benefit India so much. So I think this is going to be a very significant visit. In addition, there are a number of other issues between India and the UK that will be discussed, and hopefully there will be forward movement on them. There's the activities of the Khalistanis.
Yes.
In UK, there is, the fugitives who we are requesting to be extradited to India. So there are a number of political issues, and always this meeting at the Prime Minister level is very significant in ironing out those issues and creating further understanding between the two countries. And I think it's also a very significant indication of India's, the importance they're giving to Europe, to UK and other countries in Europe, with this visit, as you had just spoken about the India-EU FTA under discussion, that too seems to be fairly close to conclusion. So all in all, I think it is a very significant and important visit, and we're looking forward to substantive results.
All right. Thank you very much, Veena Sikri, for speaking with us, for sharing your perspective. So it's not just trade, threat and extradition also on the agenda. Rishabh and Shreya, thank you for getting us the inputs. Now,